Hey, good Friday morning. This is Dr. Bill Williams, and we are here to talk about the cornerstone of OnPassive, the four corners and the cornerstone. So let's start today with what's in the center of OnPassive. The center of OnPassive is where did it come from and where it's going, and what are the parts that make it up that mean something to you and I. So let's start with first the vision. Where did the vision come from? The vision, of course, comes from Ash Mufarad. Now, he gave us leadership. He gave us the structure. He gave us the purpose and the goals. Purpose. Goals. This all came from the mind of Ash Mufarad. These are the origin pieces of the puzzle, where they came from. So, origin. Now, if it's just an idea, it has to be seen in the mind. And so Ash saw the future in his mind, and he put it into words. And they put that down on a piece of paper, perhaps, and he shared that word with friends. And that word became a reality in the minds of other people. And so that gave us the second leg, the team leg. Who's on the team? Of course, it's this. It's positive, supportive, community, of people that support what Ash's dream was, his vision. And so who are those people that are on that team? Of course, it's first and foremost, it's the GoFounders. It's the developers. It's the customers eventually. It's the support team. And the resellers. It's the people that will be involved in moving things forward. They saw the dream, they saw the vision, they heard the vision, they moved forward, they took action. So it's the action takers who have begun to actualize what Ash put in motion. How do they do that? The how wing. This would be the solutions that businesses need. You know, if you didn't have a problem to solve and you didn't have a solution to the problem, you wouldn't have a product. And so we have to have solutions to solve. Of course, Ash is a problem solver. And so we've got products, we've got services, we've got platforms. And finally, what do we have? We have systems. Systems put together all these things, the services and the products, the platforms make a system to solve a problem. When you have that, you have something you can sell, something that people want. And so, what's the result? The results are magnificent when the products are elegant. And so what we have as a result is cash flow. Cash flow in small amounts? No. Cash flow in large amounts. We have people that jump in as a side gig. Soon it becomes what we said was what? Their main gig. Main gig. The big business of your life. The one thing that takes you over the top. It could be the thing that is creating your legacy. Legacy income creator. And finally, you get your whole family involved, it becomes a dynasty. Dynasties are something that goes on for generations. So Ash has figured out a way for the average person to create cash flow from a side gig that starts out small and builds and becomes a main gig. And when you put some effort into it, it can become legacy income for your family and eventually a dynasty maker for years and generations to come. So 100 years from now, people will look back at 2020 and go, that was the year our dynasty family started. And we know why. You know, my great-great-grandfather did something unusual. He trusted in an idea, a vision that was supported by positive, supportive community. And they had a solution to many problems that most businesses wanted to solve, and it was elegant, and it was inclusive, and it was automated, and it was all these things that Ash has envisioned. And so what you need to see that this is a circle of life. Circle of life. Not just OnPassive as a company, but it's a circle of all of us doing life. The circle of life. And so for this to happen, people had to believe before they could receive. They had to believe in Ash and his vision before they could receive. They had to join the group. They had to become part of the community before they could receive. They had to use the products before they would receive the benefits. All the companies, customers, all the resellers had something that they had to sell for people to use. It was useful in the world. It was not just a scheme. It wasn't just a ripoff. It was a real product with real solutions to businesses' needs. And so they used it and they received. And finally, when they shared it, when the members, the founders, shared it, they got cash flow. They got legacy income. And so if you share it, you receive. And that kind of goes down to the bottom line of why we all came to initially join OnPassive, was to increase our cash flow, to increase our bottom line. That's what attracts most people at first. But then after a while, they look at the products because they see the elegance and they go, well, this could help a lot of people, not just me. And they start thinking of what's the possibility of all the people using these products. And they go, oh, this is bigger than I thought. This is much bigger than I thought. And then a lot of people will be intrigued by the company. They'll be intrigued by the dollar signs, but they'll be more intrigued when they get to know the founder, Ash Mafarth. Ash is not your average CEO. Ash has got a vision that's different from most people, from how he wants to handle the wealth that comes from creating an amazing set of products and services and platforms and systems. So he wants to do more with it than just become a man unto himself. And so that kind of brings me to another area of this talk this morning that I think is very appropriate. And you'll see as I circle back around, the circle of life will be complete when we finish. Because back in 1965, there was a group called the Supremes, and they were singing in Motown hit after hit after hit, and one of them was called Stop. Stop in the name of love. Before you break my heart, think it over. Think it over. And the last line of the song was think it over. 3 times they gave the warning, think it over. And so that's what I want to do with this talk today, is to say stop in the name of love and think it over. What we as founders in OnPassive are trying to do is to get you to stop and listen for a minute and hear what we're really saying. We know that most of you are not hearing what we're saying. We know that you're hearing what you're thinking. It's your own mind talking to you when you see what we say. But I want you to dig a little deeper and go a little deeper and understand what we're really saying is it's bigger than you ever thought. And so what else is bigger? Well, let's get a sense of what the Supremes were talking about. Why do you stop? In the name of love. You know, 1 John 4, 7 and 8 says, Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God. Whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love God does not know God, because, this is a point, God is love. And then another passage in the Bible about love is this. From 1 Corinthians 13:1 it starts, love is patient, love is kind. Love is not envy. Love does not boast. Love is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. There's no record of wrongs, and does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. So it always protects. Love always protects. Love always is truth, and it's always hope, and it's always preserving of the status quo. What is good, it's been kept. So love is never failing. Love is never going to fail. Now, you've heard Ash talk a lot of times, love does not fail, and we will not fail. So I equate what Ash is doing as an act of love. He's infused love into the ethos of OnPassive. As he built the company, he went out and sought people with a giving heart. He went out and found people who were not just seeking money, but they're seeking to benefit their fellow man. And so he stacked the deck in favor of people who are of like mind, like he is. So why not look up and see, who is this CEO? So I did a little research, and I picked up a couple of things from in the GoFounders back office. I found a few quotes and some things online. So who is this Ash Mafarah? And one guy said, you know, your name, Ash, your name is really important. It's just like who you are. And this is a founder from Mozambique, and he said, in our language, our local language, your name Ash means happy. So happy is who Ash is. And if you're dealing with Ash and you see him on the webinars and you're not just a casual observer, you'll notice that he's very happy all the time. And the reason is he's created something magical. He's fixing to be released very soon. The meeting yesterday that we had of founders indicated that there might be something huge happening tomorrow. I don't know what it is, but if it is what we think it is, we could be very happy too. So let's all be Ash tomorrow. Now, what does Mafarah mean? Mafarah is a name that most of us don't know much about. We haven't heard the name Mafarah in our common language because it's, you know, I guess it's Palestinian or Indian or Middle Eastern. It's somewhere over there. So it's not one I know, but maybe in some language everybody knows what Mafarah means. But I looked it up because I didn't know. And so let me share with you what does Mafarah mean. It means helping others is something that brings a sense of fulfillment into your life. That's pretty good. That means Ash wants to fulfill things in your life. He wants to help you fulfill your dreams. Think he's working on that project right now? What about this? The normality for you is having good relationships at work and at home. Meeting new people and getting to know them is always fun. Now, he always has fun. You know, the happy hour after the webinar, when we stop recording and we have that family time together, you see the insights when the kids come on and start talking, when friends show up and start chatting about what's going on in their lives. You know, Ash cares about us all. What about this? Your likable essence and open spirit makes it easy to get along with everybody. It is easy for you to notice that somebody feels sad or is trouble and you offer help at the right time. So yeah, he's empathetic. He understands people and he learns quickly what motivates people and how they can motivate others. That is because of your observant character. Solving problems gives you pleasure. Bringing more justice into the world is very important to you. Bringing justice into the world. And I resonate with that a lot because I see injustice all over the place, and so does Ash. He wants there to be fairness across the board where the 3% don't get all the wealth. He wants to share it with the 97%. And so this last statement here really rings true. That is Ash Mafarah. That is what he believes in. That's what he thinks. And finally, he's an idealist who dreams of living in a harmonious world. People with his name tend to be naturally loyal and compassionate. Developing those qualities further can be beneficial. Well, it's going to be beneficial to us as well as to himself. He is developing the compassionate CEO characteristics as we speak. Service is one of your key beliefs. You know that something is only given once it is earned. So think about it. He's given back to the world, and he's going to earn a just reward. as we give to OnPassive, we will earn our just reward. You know, the service that we're being offered is quite large. What we can do to represent OnPassive to the world is extremely beneficial to the world, but also to our own families, right? So we're going to be able to step into the cash flow with the family, and everybody will benefit. We're going to enjoy the products and share them with other people so that all of the businesses of the world will succeed that use them. And finally, we're going to be able to enjoy togetherness, being with each other and moving forward as a team. You know, the GoFounders is a family that will go on forever. Those friendships that are made, there may be 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 founders before this thing launches. I'm thinking 400,000 could be easily reached. Somewhere in that group of 400,000, you're going to find your best friend. Somewhere in that group of 400,000, you're going to maybe find some people you'll travel with around the world and spend some time really looking at the meaning of life. And so I hope that I get to meet some of you guys, can be a part of your life. I hope that we can stop in the name of love before we go too far. It's Dr. Bill Williams. I look forward to a really good Saturday. How about you?